Habis dah ke? Oh, tadi dah ada recording baru nak tanya.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to all participants because you guys agreed to participate in this interview. So basically, the purpose of this study or my study, my group study is actually in exploring student perception, experiences and factors influencing their use of e-wallets in Malaysia. So there are no right or wrong answers here. So we are interested in your personal views and experiences. All information shared will be kept confidential and used solely for this what we so called as academic purposes. All right. Um. Okay. So I will interview Shakir first, and then we'll proceed with the next interviewee. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so first on the section A, which is related to demographic information. So first of all, what is your age right now, Shakir?
Age 25 this year.
Okay, your gender.
Male.
Okay, so next, what is your level of study?
Currently doing a master degree, but the highest level of study is bachelor degree.
Okay, all right. So, all right, what is your field of study? Okay, let me repeat the question.
Okay, the
What is
field,
your
my field
field of study?
study actually in accounting.
Okay, all right. So how long have you been using e-wallets?
It's quite long from the first generation of e-wallet from 2022, if I guess. Yes.
2022, which mean it's been around more than 4 years, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2022 or 2023, yes, something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Next, which e-wallet application do you use most frequently? Is it Touch and Go e-wallet, GrabPay, Boost, Maybank to you, Shopee Pay,
My main account for e-wallets actually a Touch and Go e-wallet.
Touch
Mm-hmm.
and Go e-wallet?
Yes.
Okay. How often do you use e-wallets? Daily, several times a week, weekly, occasionally?
I can say daily.
Daily. Okay. For what purposes do you mainly use e-wallets? Is it for food purchases, transportation, online shopping,
For
bill
main,
payments,
okay, okay.
peer-to-peer
Mm,
transfer, or others?
for the main purpose, I usually use it for the purchase of foods, something like lunch, dinner. Mhm.
How about bill payments?
Bill payment mostly using online banking rather than e-wallets.
Okay. If you say online banking, then it means somehow related to e-wallets as well.
Okay.
Uh, okay. All right. Okay. Number 10, do you receive any regular financial support like from parents, scholarship, part-time employment, or any other?
Mm, from my parents, just a little bit allowance from my parents. Yes.
That was with parents. Okay. Right. Okay. So now we move on to section B. Okay. Okay. So basically, for the research objective of this section is actually to explore on the students' perception of e-wallet usage in Malaysia. So this is somehow related to the objective and the question in my research.
Yep.
So for this, how do students perceive e-wallets usage in Malaysia? So the main interview question here is that the first question is, can you describe your overall perception of e-wallet as a payment method?
Mm. So what I can describe about e-wallet is that it's convenience. It's a necessary for me for in current internet era, which is all the things can be done with the phone. and internet. So I guess it's convenience and it's necessary.
I want to add a little bit question. How important do you think this e-wallet in your daily life?
Important, I will say it is very important because most of the payment I have done right now in this month, let's say this month, is through the e-wallet and online banking. Uh, and I use less cash rather than the e-wallet itself.
Okay. All right. So we move on to the next question. How do you think e-wallets have changed the way students manage their financial transaction? Has it changed your spending habits, or maybe has it made your the financial transaction easier or more difficult? What do you think?
It does change my spending habit, which is I spend more money than before because it made financial transaction more convenient, easier.
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
Mhm.
So next, what do you see as the main advantages of using e-wallet? Convenience, speed, accessibility, maybe in terms of say financial tracking.
I would say every that you mentioned is the advantage, but the main advantage I would say is this convenience because you don't need to bring cash or the wallet, and it just all in one app like Touch and Go.
All right. Next, how would you compare e-wallets with traditional payment methods such as cash or debit card? Which do you prefer and why?
Compare e-wallet with traditional payment such as cash or debit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would prefer using e-wallet because most of the time I forget to bring cash or the debit card or credit card. So comparison between this, it is more convenience rather than the cash and debit card. I would say like that.
So which means you prefer e-wallet rather than traditional payment method, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Last question for this section. In your opinion, what role do e-wallets play in the daily life of university students today? Is it considered as essential or optional? Which one?
Considering as a student, university student, I would say it is quite essential nowadays because most of the time, even the vendor are applying the e-wallets like QR payment, e-wallet payment. So it is more than essential for me. Due to the convenience and accessibility.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So we move on to the next section, which is section C. The basically for this section C, the research objective is actually to understand the factors influencing students' adoption and continued use of e-wallet. And the research question is what factors influence student adoption and continued use of e-wallets. Okay, so starting from this section, the first main question is, can you tell me how you first started using an e-wallet? Can you share a little bit of your experience and what motivate you to try it basically on
Mm,
this e-wallet? Okay.
the my first experience using e-wallet since I consider as the first user of e-wallet during uh the startup, I guess. And the first experience is quite confusing because everything is online and we are prefer it traditionally, and sometimes the app is it's like confused which button you should choose, and then what motivate me to try the e-wallet is that it's convenience. It's very convenience that everything can be done in just a few seconds. And then that's all.
Okay. Just a little bit of summarize from what you said just now is that the first time or the first attempt is quite hard for you is because of the interface, right? In terms
Yes.
of interface, because you don't really get how to use the interface. But in terms of the motivator why you try it is because of you can just by using it a click of a hand instead of like you need to go to the machine, you need to go for
Mm.
to make the payment, right?
Yeah, you
Is
get
it?
it right.
Is it all right? Okay. All right. Second, what factors influence your decision to adopt an e-wallet? I give you the maybe it might help you in terms of giving me the factors. I will give you a little bit. Like maybe is it because of convenience, promotion and cashback, recommendation from friends or family, merchant acceptance, or maybe ease of use? Which one?
Which one?
Maybe
Mm,
you can give more than one out of these
okay.
factors.
Okay, as the interview go, I always mention about convenience, right? So the
Okay.
first factor is that convenient, but the second factor that interested me in e-wallets is actually the cashback, the money that you get when you spend even just a 10 ringgit, you can get a little bit point that you can collect, then you can redeem some reward there. Mm-hmm.
So usually this cashback that you mentioned just now is in the Touch and Go e-wallets apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that's in e-wallet.
Um. Okay. All right. Okay. Next, what motivates you to continue using e-wallet today? Is it because of habit, reward and incentive, time saving benefits, or integration with other services?
Mm, I guess what motivate me using it every day, it's because it become my new habits, the new normal, which is every time I need to pay for my lunch, I just bring my phone, no need to bring the card or cash.
Mhm.
And secondly, it is a time saving. Of course, you just scan it and then we just pay it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe another part out of it is maybe because of integration as well, right? Because most
Mm-hmm.
of the place that you went to, you are allowed to use your phone. So which means
Yes.
all the companies or maybe all the places that you went to offer the same
Mm-hmm.
service, right?
Yeah,
Which
the
is
environment
payment,
has
right?
been. Yes.
All right. Okay. So next, how do people around you influence your use of e-wallet? Your friends, family members, social media, or maybe the university environment itself.
Mm, in terms of person that influence me using e-wallet is mostly because of the environment itself. Because everything can use e-wallet, right? So the environment make it acceptance to the e-wallet. So it is to use e-wallet rather than others thing.
Okay. How important are security and trust when deciding whether to use an e-wallet? What makes you trust an e-wallet provider? Mm.
What make me trust on e-wallet provider? It's because it has a trail, like transaction history. We can see uh where money goes and where money comes. And then in terms of trust of be being hacking by other party is that it's just a minority, really minority, and also the e-wallet also get backed up by PIDM itself. So I think it's quite trustful. And the security features, I guess Maybe not much. You just need to authorize using your fingerprint or face recognition. But I guess e-wallet developer can improve these features.
Okay. All right. Next, um, are there any features of e-wallet application that encourage you to keep using them? Is it user-friendly interface, rewards programs, budget tracking, or QR payment system?
Um, what encouraged me to keep using this is because uh rewards program where you can collect points, so I keep using it every single day, and budget tracking also where you can find where you spend the most of your money. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do get that the part where budget tracking is because yeah, usually when you go to places, if you use cash, of course you will
Mm-hmm.
receive receipt, right? You need to keep the
Yes.
receipt, but somehow tomorrow maybe it's not in the place that you keep it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, through
It
this
is.
use of e-wallets, yeah, everything is in the phone now. Okay,
Yep.
okay. All right, the last part of the interview, which is on section. Oh, sorry, not yet. Second last, which is section D. Okay, so now I will touch on the part of challenges associated with e-wallet usage. So the first question is: have you experienced any difficulties when using e-wallet, like technical issues, payment failures, or internet connectivity problem?
Yes, actually, I have a lot of bad experience using e-wallet, but most of the time it's just the technical issue where it's take longer to make a transaction, where it's sometimes it's transaction fail due to wrong QR or something like that. But most of the time, I feel the technical issue is the main problem, where the system take longer to process the transaction.
Mm, okay, all right. Even me myself, I got the internet technical issue lah. Kan?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I lepak at mama at night, and then when I exceed 12 a.m., Maybank apps cannot use. And they say
Yeah.
repair maintenance, right? Okay. Next, what concerns do you have about using e-wallet? Security, privacy, fraud, or data protection?
I guess in terms of privacy and our data protection, because the provider of these e-wallets may use our data to sell it. I can say like sell it to other uh, store or to other like platform like Shopee, so they can uh see our algorithm in the spending. Then they sell it to the like let's say Shopee, so Shopee can match the algorithm to suggest you what will you what to recommend you what you want to buy. I think in terms of privacy and data protection concern me the most.
Mm, okay. All right. So, can you share any negative experience you have encountered while using e-wallet?
Mm, I guess the negative experience we use is that delay transaction and or the unauthorized transaction where it's once the system fail, it's always reject your transaction. So if you try it many times, it's frustrating me, and that is the negative experience I can give.
Okay. Are there any situation where you prefer not to use an e-wallet and why?
Mm. I do sometimes keep some cash, a little bit of petty cash. I prefer to not use e-wallet in certain things like you go to kedai runcit, like just to buy a little as a small expenses, small thing. So that that I prefer not using a wallet, just using cash like. 10 ringgit, 5 ringgit. Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. Okay, so like usually you keep a little bit of cash in hand when you go to a convenience store, right? Okay. 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 Next. Okay. So next, what barriers might prevent student from fully adopting e-wallet?
Hmm.
Is it because of lack of trust, limited acceptance by merchant, lack of knowledge, or financial constraint? What do you think?
Barrier might prevent students from fully adopting the e-wallet. I guess it is a limited acceptance by the merchant outside university area, which is uh the like kedai-kedai yang biasa may not adopt e-wallets. Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So maybe the university the surrounding of the university is
Yes.
like maybe inside of the university they offered this merchant
Mm-hmm.
services, right? But when the
Yes.
student went out of the university, mostly for like maybe rural or areas, I would say,
Mm-hmm. Like Kelantan.
this kedai-kedai auntie uncle, so they don't use.
Yes, they
I,
don't
I
use
get
the
I get that.
e-wallet.
I get your
Yeah.
point. I get your point. Right. Okay. So next, okay, what improvement would you suggest making e-wallet more useful and accessible for student?
Hmm. Accessible for student. I think it's the user support, which is and the feature of the app is most important, right? Because if the app is convenient, the app is easy to understand. Most of us will use it conveniently and effectively. Mhm.
So your suggestion on improvement part is basically the features of or maybe the interface of the
Yeah.
e-wallet. Okay. Okay. Uh, last. Okay. On the
Yes.
question section E, last part. So first one, okay. Is there anything else about e-wallet usage that you think is important but has not been discussed?
Uses of, I think you have covered a lot of question using the through this e-wallet. No, I guess no.
Mm, okay, maybe just now most of your answer is related to in terms of convenience, accessibility. You also touch on the part of data protection. Um, okay, maybe covered all. Maybe all the areas has been touched, but it's okay. I'll move on to the next question. What advice would you give to e-wallet providers who want to attract more student users? What kind of advice you can give?
In terms of to attract student, I guess it is on promotions and like be give coupon to students in terms of cashbacks, and also if the platform can identify the user is a student, they can give a special discount and something like that. In terms of to attract more student, they should focus on the promotion and advertisement.
Okay, okay, all right. Okay, last question. What advice would you give to students who are considering using e-wallet for the first time?
Mm, I guess the advice that I should give is that the e-wallet is too convenient and you need to keep track your expense and your spendings because it is too convenient and it maybe you just spend and more until you have no money. So yeah, the e-wallet is a tool that you can use to make it easy for the transaction, but please uh, always track your spending.
Okay, so in terms of so maybe you encourage the student to use e-wallet, but at the same time, in what we could say in terms of purchase habit or spending habit, maybe they can less spending or maybe efficiently spend on few things that is considered as necessary or important by looking at the features provided by the apps or these e-wallet apps such as financial tracking, right? So
Yeah.
which money, where the money goes, where on what things they spend, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Shaki. I think that's all for our interview session. Thank you so much for, you know, by prov- by considering by attending to this interview session at night. We really appreciate it. Maybe one day, once before, one time later when we meet, I'll inshallah I'll give you something as a token of appreciation. Inshallah. Thank you, Shaki.
Thank you, Kiwi. Thank you for having me.